Welcome back to Hospitality Reinvented. We are officially kicking off season 2 here. I am your host, Doug Radkey, the founder and principal consultant with KRG Hospitality, a global agency that helps new and seasoned bar, restaurant, and boutique hotel operators turn confusion into clarity, pressure into performance, and guesswork into growth. So here's an interesting fact to kick this off. While an exact number is maybe not available, it's estimated that only about 1% of podcasts have 20 or more episodes. Well, guess what? This is episode number 20. So if that's the case, we're now in the 1%. And if you've been following along with us from the very beginning, thank you so much for your support. And if you've been following along, you know that this podcast isn't about the basics. It's not about just cheerleading the hospitality industry. It's about stripping away the noise and getting to the core of what makes hospitality businesses succeed and what makes so many of them fail. Today is an important episode. It's maybe perhaps even a little bit different. It's one that I've been waiting to do because we're going to talk about the core programs here at KRG Hospitality. Now, I want to be clear from the very beginning here. This is not a sales pitch. If you've listened to me before, you know that that is not my style. What I want to share today is the why behind these programs, the transformation that they are designed to create, and why they've been so impactful for operators and investors and leaders all around the world. So why are we kicking off season 2 with details on our programs? Because too many in this industry are trying to solve problems without the right frameworks. Too many are just playing it safe and surviving instead of stabilizing and scaling. And too many are measuring their future against someone else's failures. Our core programs at KRG Hospitality, Ignite, Method, Icon, and Legacy, they exist to break that cycle. Now, before we get into each program, let's talk about why these programs even exist. When I started consulting back in 2009, I was working with operators in a very reactive way. If they were starting out, I'd help them just with a business plan. That's what the bank told them that they needed, and we helped them out to prepare for that application. If they were already operating, they'd come to me with a fire that I'd have to help them put out. They were maybe bleeding cash, struggling with staff, or falling behind competitors, and I was there to help stabilize them. But then I realized something. If all we do is follow an existing system that doesn't really work, like only writing a business plan, or all we do is have to put out fires like many other consultants, the industry is never going to move forward. So instead of just solving problems in the moment, we built frameworks. We built our system of non-negotiable playbooks, which we highlighted in all the previous episodes as well. We built proven, repeatable systems that operators could lean on, not just today, but years from now. That is the foundation for these programs. They're not one-size-fits-all approaches. They're intentionally built for different stages of the hospitality journey, from idea to the deployment and the development of a legacy brand. Think of them as pathways where each one is about transformation, not just information. Let's start with, the first of our 4 core programs here. Let's start with Ignite. Ignite, it's designed for the dreamers, the future operators, the visionaries with an idea. Maybe it's a bar concept, a boutique hotel, a restaurant, or a hybrid entertainment type of experience. It's a program that's built for those who are more hands-on. It's for the ones who want to lead the project themselves, but who need guidance along the way. Ignite is that, spark that the dreamer needs. So what's the problem that this program is solving? Well, too many people start with vision and hope and passion, but without structure. Maybe they are, new to the industry, or maybe they are an industry veteran with management experience. And then they'll go and maybe download a free business plan, template online, or now, use AI, scribble down some numbers on the back of a napkin and convince themselves that they are ready to sign a lease or lead their business to success. But here's the thing. Passion without clarity is a liability. This industry is not for the faint of heart. Ignite takes that idea and helps you make it real by following our 500-point startup checklist alongside weekly one-on-one coaching calls with a member of the KRG leadership team, in addition to network and other resources that we provide. The transformation here is confidence. Ignite is about moving from, I think I could do this and I think it could work, to I know it will work with the experience that I have on my side. That shift alone saves people hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of wasted time. Now, that's KRG Ignite. Next up is the KRG Method program. Method is the backbone, really, of KRG. It's where the playbooks live. It's what's built our name over the past 16 plus years. It's the program that builds strategic clarity. The problem here, is operators launch without depth. They underestimate, cost. They misread the market. They skip over brand positioning, and they build menus or hotel rooms without understanding operational flow and the guest experience and the real levers of profitability. They work in the business instead of on the business. And before long, they're exhausted. The margins, they're diminishing. And their so-called, dream has become a nightmare. The KRG Method program, it changes that. It's not just one plan. It's multiple connected playbooks. It's the feasibility study and conceptual playbook and the prototype playbook. It is the brand strategy playbook, the tech stack playbook, and the go-to-market playbook. It's the financial playbook, the business plan playbook, and the executive summary. As outlined in previous episodes, each playbook builds onto the next. Together, they create strategic clarity. And the transformation here, operators stop living in chaos and they stop guessing and they start leading. With the Method program, you don't just open a business. You open a business with alignment, with people, and with processes, and with profit, which all moves in the same direction towards success. Now, here's the bold truth here. This is why our clients maintain a 98% startup success rate since 2009, despite a 60+% failure rate across the industry. Not because of the luck, not because of talent alone, but because of clarity through strategic playbooks, through a fundamental process or method. Now, let's move on to KRG Legacy. Legacy is for the visionaries, the investors, the entrepreneurs, the ones building not just, a business, but a destination. We had, a previous podcast episode on what it means and what it takes to build a legacy business. These are forward-thinking entrepreneurs that they're, high net worth individuals, and they're portfolio builders looking to create something that outlives them, a brand that becomes truly iconic. The problem here is, scale without soul. Too many big projects, they chase the returns at the expense of experience. They cut corners on the guest journey. They ignore the community, and they create spaces that look good in a pitch deck, but then fail in real life. We've all seen it. Legacy is different. It's turnkey. It's end-to-end execution, from strategic playbooks to systems, from investment to structure and operational excellence. This program builds destinations that set new standards. The transformation here is simple. Legacy brands don't just make money. They leave their mark in their community or within the industry. They become landmarks in their market. They attract the right investors and the right teams and the right guests. Legacy is about impact. It's about setting the bar higher for hospitality everywhere. All right, now let's move to KRG Icon. Icon is our post-open coaching program, our high-impact experience that's built for operators who are ready to stabilize and scale their business. This is not about, templates or quick wins. Icon is about sharpening your edge as a leader. The problem that this program solves is too many entrepreneurs and leaders in hospitality, they end up plateauing. They get stuck. They struggle to delegate, to systemize, to free themselves from, those 70-hour work weeks, despite the strategic playbooks that are in place. Icon creates an avenue where you get direct coaching and group accountability and a portfolio of resources that tie back to the playbooks to accelerate your results. The transformation, it's really personal as much as it is professional. Leaders go, from feeling overwhelmed and reactive to confident and intentional. They truly discover why they got into hospitality in the first place, and they build the mindset and the systems to scale. At Icon, you stop, being the bottleneck. You start being the strategist and the driver behind the success of the business. So those are the 4 core programs at KRG Hospitality. So again, why am I sharing all of this with you today? Because the industry doesn't need more operators running on fumes. It doesn't need more, failed concepts or more, Me Too brands or more burnt out leaders. It needs clarity. It needs frameworks. It needs people willing to step up and build profitable businesses that matter. That's what these programs are all about. They're not services. They're not just, plans. They are transformations. And here's, the deeper reason here. This isn't just about building better businesses. It's about building better lives. When you have clarity, you stop burning yourself out. You stop sacrificing your health and your family for a dream that, doesn't even feel like a dream anymore. Instead, you build a business that supports you, financially and emotionally and creatively. That is the point here. That's why we do what we do. You should be excited to wake up each and every single morning and go after it. So, let me give you a quick example here. A few years ago, we worked with an operator who came to us completely exhausted. It was actually a married couple, and they were running 60+ hour weeks, but just trying to hold everything together. They were barely, breaking even. They were having a tough time paying their bills, both in the business and even, at home as well. Their team was becoming, very disengaged. They thought they needed more hours or more hustle to turn things around. But what they really needed was clarity. Through both Method and Icon, we rebuilt their strategy and their systems, refined their brand, and stabilized their financials. And in 6 months, they were profitable. Within a year, they were working less than 40 hours a week, generating over 18% profit, and they were spending time with a family on a vacation, and they were starting to plan for their second location. That's the transformation that I am talking about here. Not just saving a business, saving a life, and really, saving a marriage and a family. So as we enter season 2 of Hospitality Reinvented, I want you to think about where you are right now. Are you a visionary ready to start and build a legacy? Or are you running an operation that maybe needs more clarity? Wherever you are, the message is the same. Don't wait, because the risk of inaction is greater than the risk of taking action. KRG Hospitality, it exists to help those visionaries, the operators, the leaders, and the investors not just survive in this industry, but tell a long-lasting success story. Ignite, Method, Icon, and Legacy. They aren't just names or programs. They are lifelines for entrepreneurs. They are insurance policies for investors. They are frameworks for clarity and confidence and freedom. So my challenge to you is this: don't measure your future against someone else's collapse. Don't convince yourself that you need more time before making a decision to get started. Take action, build momentum, and create the hospitality business and the life that you actually want. That is possible. Thank you for listening to Hospitality Reinvented. Until next time, stay bold, stay strategic, and let's keep reinventing hospitality together.